That day, my patience was tested. And it was like, man, dude, I had people in my face like, yo, give me my money back. Like, I'm talking about, like, B. This dude came up to me. He was like, no. He was like, shh, stop talking. What? Stop talking to me. He had his hand in my face. He was like, stop talking. You're going to give me my money back. I'm literally telling this man what I'm about to do. He's like, no, stop talking. You're going to give me my money back.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
I'm, like, trying to help him. And it's continue to stop me, continue. And it was just, man, it was, like, it was funny. It was, like, it pushed me, but it was just like, man, it's the way certain people treat people. It's like, it's so different.
Impact. In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. My muscle tough as the hustle, the numbers is just that. And I'ma keep winning and sit back. I love the feeling of killing them with that. Attacking the process, tackling topics, master synopsis. This the residual impact, yeah.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your man, Brandon Gio.
And your man, JaMichael Moore. And we are the Residual Impact Podcast.
Here we inspire others to find the greatness within themselves
and then apply to their community.
Let's grow.
Man, it feels like a long time since we said that.
Yo, who are you telling, man? Listen, I don't even remember the last time we recorded.
Nah,
and
either.
To everybody who's listening and watching, sorry, okay? Just life happens, put it that way. Y'all know the situation with my job and how many hours I'll be putting in, and ooh, man. Every single weekend we get together or try to get together to record is like, yo, let's just hold off on another week.
And it's not like we don't have content. We got the content. We just, it's just the time to actually edit it, and then it also takes from the creative process that also goes into it. So it's just like we catching up. We catching up.
I'm actually thinking of new ideas of how we can get to record, edit, and have this sent out as quickly as possible, so that we don't have to worry about falling behind like we did, over the last couple of months.
Oh, we're gonna have to hire somebody.
I mean, it's not even so much that, but I look at some of the other podcasts that I follow, and listen to and watch on a consistent basis. A lot of them pretty much sit side by side, so that way you don't have to do the cutting back and forth like you and I do. That makes things so much easier.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I do appreciate the cutting back and forth because it adds to the dynamic of like the content that we put out, whether it's on YouTube or the clips that we cut and put on IG and TikTok. I think it adds to it. But that's more work.
Yeah.
So we just got to figure out what it is that's more important to us. Do we want things to be easier? And, so we can get the content out quicker, or do we want to have things the way that we've been running it, but eventually hire somebody to do the editing for us so that we can go on about our business?
Well, maybe, yeah. I mean, I don't think we should sacrifice. I think we've created a space for ourselves that we like, so I don't think we should try to take the easier road just because of, we have lack of time. I think we just now got to manage our time more. And like I said, potentially maybe bring somebody on to take some of the load off of us, because we are making more money now, so we can do it. It's just putting those or setting those funds aside to where, okay, hey, we got this week, we know we got to pay somebody, we know we got somebody that we can trust to give them the load, and then they'll take it and help us out and free us up.
Okay.
Just thinking that. Just thought.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that at all, because we do have somebody in mind.
Yeah.
We've talked to this individual about editing videos for us. And, once we get the final product, we can just cut the clips ourselves. We'll have the time to do it. But, the initial editing, that's going to take some time. But, it never hurts to try something new.
Yeah.
And I think it'll definitely come, around the time where we start to rebrand everything, because our year anniversary is coming up.
It is. This is big, man.
It's very big. And I don't know, like it's just something that I've been thinking about, like what can we do differently in our second year in business versus our first year.
Right.
Like the first year was just a lot of learning.
Yeah.
You know, especially learning from a lot of the mistakes that we've made while, you know, I guess riding this bike with training wheels on. You know what I'm saying? After the year mark, the training wheels should come off, man. We should. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying we're pros. I'm not saying that we like BMX riders in here, but you know what I'm saying? We should know how to ride this bike or ride this vehicle without the training wheels.
Right. No, I agree.
And then maybe by year like 3, 4, then we can start doing the tricks and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we in the X Games.
Nah, facts though. I think that's definitely a good like way to look at it. Especially, I think we definitely are at a point where we don't need the training wheels no more. We got the motion down. It's just like, you know, okay, now we can learn more as we continue to go or grow. So I think that's big. It's amazing to think that it's almost been a year.
Yeah, for real.
So that's dope, man. Nope. A lot of people don't make it this far, bro.
No, not at all.
So, man, hey, man, I'm excited, man.
Me too. So let's make sure that we definitely, you know, once the cameras are off, we're talking about some stuff behind the scenes. For those of y'all who are listening and watching, we're talking about some stuff. So, you know, we're gonna continue chopping it up and chatting and making sure that we continue to grow this entity known as the Residual Impact Podcast. Because shout out to the man Flawless for that track, man. Definitely laying his vocals down on the track, spitting bars over that track. Cause yeah, man, that's part of the process.
All a part of the process. But before we get too deep into it, you already know we got to take care of the housekeeping rules.
Most definitely.
So for those of you that are new to the channel, first and foremost, welcome.
Welcome.
You know, y'all are like family to us, so we want to welcome y'all in, right? And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Please hit that like and that notification button if you don't want to miss any of the new videos that we do have coming out. Also, you can also leave a comment. We do like comments as well. We like the feedback that we get.
Most definitely. Comments are always welcome.
Big facts. So, also, if you want to, you can follow us on our many podcast platforms that we do have, which is Instagram, TikTok. What we got? Am I missing one? Twitter.
Yeah, we're on Twitter. We gotta update our Twitter like
we do
more. So we gotta be. We got to tweet.
I'm not a tweeter, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's like Twitter is just one of those out there ones.
Yeah, I understand that, but you know, hey, it's another way to reach the people.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
There's some people that are on Twitter that are not on Instagram, that are not on TikTok. So
yeah, this is
how
true.
else can we, you know what I'm saying, spread the message? How else can we leave an impact for those who don't even know we exist?
That's true.
Because they don't have these other platforms.
That's true. Reach out at us at Residual Impact.
On Twitter. Correct.
On Twitter. And also, if you just like to listen to us, you know, through the major podcast platforms, be sure to leave us a rating or a review, because that lets us know what we're doing right, let us know what we're doing wrong, what we can improve on, and we just love to hear from y'all, so we greatly appreciate that.
Most definitely, and you can always catch us anywhere that you get your podcasts, from Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast.
Shout out to Pocket Cast showing us love.
Most definitely. We can never forget Pocket Cast.
No, bro. Shout out to Pocket Cast, man.
Most definitely.
I think they gonna sponsor us, bro.
They better. As much shouting out as we give them, they got to.
Oh, man.
So Pocket Cast, if y'all listening, come on with it.
Come on with it, yo. Let's talk business. But, man, you already know how we do it, B. How was the week for you, man?
Long. It definitely was tiring. For starters, you know, if y'all are just now tuning in, you guys don't know what I do for a living. I deliver for Amazon. It's a lot of physically demanding work.
Yeah.
However, this past week was Prime Week, right? So there were a lot of deals and sales and stuff like that going on Amazon's website. So many people were buying. And with that, my team and I had mad packages to deliver. So where we was pulling in like we was doing so many long days. Like Prime days, I think Prime Day was only like 2 weeks. It was July 12th and July 13th. But yo, when I tell you that some of these houses that I deliver to on a regular basis that normally get like 1 or 2 packages out, some of them was ordering like 9, 10, 12 packages. It's crazy.
I believe it, bro. I see the amount of packages my wife orders, so I definitely believe it. Like, I feel for you, brother, like, every day.
And it's crazy, yo, because some of these houses I had to stop at, like, multiple days in a row.
I believe it.
One of the dudes, one of the husbands at this residence was like, don't none of these packages have my name on it. And let me tell you this. He was like, my birthday is next week, and I bet you none of this stuff is with me. But I got something for myself, so that's all right.
Yo, that's funny.
And then another husband, it's always the husbands, right?
I believe it.
Another husband was like, I bet you I got a picture of my wife hanging on your wall in the warehouse. I'm like, we might. I don't know. He was like, the way she orders packages, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro, it's really nuts. Like, every single day, when I get home, I expect to see a package at the door, bro. Like, it's to the point where she be like, I'll just make her a little spot of packages, like, and she'll be like, oh, okay. And she'll walk past them a lot of times. She'll forget the stuff that she orders.
Oh, my gosh.
It's like a thing, bro. It's just like Amazon opened up just a floodgate of just, I don't know, man, stuff for women to buy.
I can't wait till I'm married.
Oh, man, brother.
And I'm being facetious because I actually can't wait, but, you know, I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
Nah, more power to you, though, man. I know that's a lot of work, especially how hot it's been lately, too.
Yeah.
So I know getting in and out of that truck, I hope y'all got some good AC, have some water.
We try to stay hydrated. I don't know about the AC, though. Like, but we try our best to stay hydrated, man.
Yeah. Nah, salute to you, brother. I know that's a lot to, like, physically demanding as far as having to lift up probably some different size packages and in and out of the truck and the protocol that y'all got to go through.
Bro, there was one house that I had to deliver to this week. It was a house on a hill, right? Like the driveway was a steep hill going up. And then when you get to the steps, it was a bunch of steps going up. I had this huge box. I don't know what was in it. It was a huge box. I had to carry up that hill. It was at least 50 pounds.
Damn.
But it's like I had to carry it up that hill and up them steps. The next door neighbor, he saw me carrying the box, and he was like, yo, I just got to get this man a cold Gatorade. So he literally tossed me a Gatorade. He was like, I commend you for doing that. Here, I just had to get you a drink, man. The way you carried that package. He tossed me a Gatorade. I was like, yo, I appreciate it.
That's what's up.
Because I needed that.
Yeah.
Ice cold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that was work.
Clutch. That was it.
That definitely was clutch. So,
Dang.
yo, let's just say I have a newfound respect for anybody who works in the delivery service, whether it's USPS, UPS, FedEx, DHL, whoever. You know what I'm saying? I understand what these other drivers go through because I go through it on a consistent basis now. So
typically that's how it works too, man. It's like sometimes we don't have a full appreciation for certain things until we put ourselves in that situation. Because like that reminded me of the times where like I used to like pick up trash, and you know, in my apartment complex, you know, you sit your trash outside at a certain time. You have people come pick it up, and I actually started to do that myself for a little bit, and I didn't realize how much work that is on a daily basis to have to come pick up people's trash. You take it for granted. You just go sit your trash out there. You know, at the end of the night, you don't care how heavy it is. You ain't thinking about if it got a little rip and you don't think about stuff like that. But until you actually doing it and have to do that on a nightly basis, you appreciate people that actually take the time out to make sure that it's not too heavy. It don't got no rips. And it ain't no knife poking out in there. Like, you got some people that just don't care.
yeah,
But it's just, you know, it makes you appreciate people more because we need each other. We the ones who help us experience some of these amenities or things that we like to experience on a daily basis.
correct. So, yeah, man. That's all about my week, man. That's pretty much how it went. How was yours?
Man, what was this week like? Honestly, the week has been just like work. A couple of changes have happened. I'm not gonna speak on them just yet because it's still kind of in the works. What else, man? I had to deal with, you know, for those of y'all that don't know, I do also work at the movie theaters, right? And we had a little situation where like the power went out and it cut back on. So you have to, in the movies, you have to like, a lot of people don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but like when that happens, you have to like manually restart every movie. So I had to like, if there's 18 theaters playing at one time, I had to go around, and when that happened, I had to restart literally 18 projectors But mind you, while I'm starting 18 projectors, you got every person that was inside of that theater coming out and complaining, yo, what happened? I need you to fix this. And when I tell you, like, I'm a very, very patient person. I guess you could say this is one of the reasons why I chose this topic, but that day my patience was tested. And it was like, man, dude, I had people in my face like, yo, give me my money back. Like, I'm talking about, like, B. This dude came up to me. He was like, no. He was like, shh, stop talking. What? Stop talking to me. He had his hand in my face. He was like, stop talking. You're going to give me my money back. I'm literally telling this man what I'm about to do. He's like, no, stop talking. You're going to give me my money back.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
I'm, like, trying to help him. And it's continue to stop me, continue. And it was just, man, it was, like, it was funny. It was, like, it pushed me. But it was just, like, man, it's the way certain people treat people. It's like, it's so different. Because you had some people that were mad, and then you like some people like, you know, I'm sorry, I see what you're going through, you're doing a good job. But then there was other people that just like, no, like, I want what I want, and I want it now, you're going to give it to me no matter what.
Yo, that you just brought up a flashback. I know we already talked about my week, but I have to tell you about this when the camera's cut off. I'm not saying this on camera or while the mic's recording, but let's just say you're better than me when it comes to being patient with customers. That's all I'm gonna say.
Shoot, B. Don't tell me you went off on him, B.
No, I didn't.
Okay,
I didn't.
okay.
But I'll tell you the situation.
Okay.
You know, things could have played out a certain way, but they didn't.
Yeah, bro. And it just had me thinking, bro, when all was said and done, because a lot of times when you go through that stuff, you tend to replay it back in your head a lot, so you'll either get mad or, you know, you'll realize why it happened, bro. And it was just one of those situations where I was like, yo, why did this happen? Like, I looked at it like it's a test. Because he could have took me out of my character and I could have did something to him. But then it's like, then it just wouldn't have been worth it. I don't know. It taught me something. So, don't let nobody take you there.
For real.
Don't do it. It's not
worth it. For real. It's definitely not worth it.
It's not worth it, man. But other than that, the week has been good. Like I said, it's just been filled with work. And just transitioning, I'll say.
Okay. That's lit.
Man. Yeah, man. Good to be back.
But yeah, man, yo, speaking of transitioning, what we got going on today? What we transitioning into next?
Well, this is kind of random. This wasn't in the original notes. I just kind of wrote this, but you know, it was some news. Have you heard about your boy R. Kelly and his sentencing and everything like that?
I heard. First of all, he's not my boy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nah. See, here's the thing. Wait. Here's the thing that, you know, I notice about black people. Right? When somebody's doing good, that's when you want to claim them. Oh, when somebody's doing bad,
bruh,
that's when you want to push them on somebody else. Like, bruh, yo, get your mans. Or who mans is this? Like, that's your man.
Yo, look.
Listen, R. Kelly, you know, as talented as that man is, you know, we can definitely all agree that he has his issues.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have our issues, but that man has his issues.
Right.
But yes, I have heard about his sentencing, and stuff like that, you know, and whew.
Do you feel like it was fair?
I mean, I would say, like, I think that in addition to his sentencing, there's a bunch of other people who should have been put behind bars as well, because it's not like he was doing this on his own. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to blame a lot of the parents, you know, for, you know, allowing, and this is not all the parents, of course, but some of the parents allowed their children or allowed their daughters and stuff like to be with R. Kelly.
Right.
And I'm not saying any names, but if you've been following, you know, everything that's been happening, especially since like the Surviving R. Kelly doc, or if you've been listening to the news in Atlanta, because a lot of this stuff has been happening in Atlanta for the last year or two, with a couple women who are, I think, either from here or they live here, or whatever, and like their families, like they were on news, they were on the news, and they were holding like press conferences and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, come on, y'all allowed your daughters to be with him. So a lot of people need to be behind bars with him. It's not just him, but as far as whether I think his sentencing was fair, I'd say it is.
Yeah.
So let's just say, man, the man might not get out till he's in his 80s.
Yeah. And apparently he was either engaged to some young lady. I didn't write her name down, but I saw a story about her. She was just, you know, sticking beside him. You know.
Yeah. Allegedly, from what I heard, I think it was Joycelyn Savage.
Okay.
And that was one of the young ladies that I was talking about. Her family is in Atlanta, and I remember like her father was holding a press conference or something, talking about some like, you know, he has my daughter or whatever type stuff. Like, come on, we know better. Like Joycelyn Savage, and I think the other girl who she was like a sister wife with was and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think the other young lady's name was Azriel Cleary or something like that. I think both of them were in Atlanta, or I think Azriel might have been from Florida or something like that. But still, man, this is a lot that's been going on. And yeah, I heard that that those two allegedly got engaged or whatever. I don't know what else to believe.
Yeah.
But I just know that this man, I mean, everything finally caught up to him.
Yeah. And
he's behind bars and he got to do the time because he did the crime. You feel me?
Yeah. Something that's been going on for years. This ain't, I mean, it's
decades.
It's not even something that's, you know, he's a stranger to. He's just been getting away with it, or he's been able to allegedly pay people off.
Right.
To, you know, get off from going to jail. So apparently, I guess it was too much.
And the crazy thing about it is, he beat the case. He beat a case when I was in middle school. Like, I don't know. Have you watched the Boondocks? You've watched the Boondocks before, right?
I've seen it before, a couple episodes.
There was an episode that they did where I think it was called The Trial of R. Kelly. Like, R. Kelly was on the episode. Of course, it wasn't actually him, but it was based on him. And, you know, the whole, you know, urinating on an underage girl and recording and stuff like that, that was the plot of like the whole episode, and him being on trial and how he beat the trial, even though there was a mountain of evidence that proved that he was guilty.
Right.
Even back in the day, like R. Kelly and Jay-Z, when they had the Best of Both Worlds album, they had a song called Not Guilty. So, yeah, man, like he beat the trial back then, and it's like he didn't even learn his lesson. He didn't quit while he was ahead.
All right.
Not saying that he was actually ahead. I'm putting that in quotes. Like, the saying goes, quit while you're ahead. Like, learn your lesson, man.
Right.
You have this mountain of evidence against you, and you could possibly be facing some serious time. And he was younger back then. That was like 20 years ago.
Yep.
So, I mean, if he got a 30-year sentence back then, I mean, he could have been almost out by now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Probably wouldn't have been who he was, though.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. That's a tough one. I mean, yeah. Do the crime, you gotta do the time.
Yeah.
And apparently he got another case, too, still in Chicago that's waiting. So even if he were to get out today, he would still have to go on trial for a case in Chicago that he has.
Wow.
So regardless, he ain't skipping the judicial system no matter what. So.
Sheesh.
But yeah, you know, that's R. Kelly for y'all. But in other news, you know, that wasn't really on the schedule. I just wanted to throw that one in the docket. You know, see how your take was on that one.
It's just crazy, man, because these people out here wilding, yo. Like they really wilding.
Speaking of wilding, you know, you already know with the RICO, and everything going on with that one. You know, you still got the DA. She out here being bold. To me, she reminded me of somebody's mama.
Yeah, you can say that.
You know, the way she just said, "Hey, look, y'all thought we did something before. I got something waiting for y'all a little later." She said, "We got 2 more that's coming in the next 60 days, yo."
Sheesh.
Now, to my understanding, too, with this whole RICO thing and everything, it's different depending on the state you're in. So, like, I heard a lawyer say if everything that happened with, you know, Young Thug and Gunna and all them, if that happened in New York, he's like, more than likely that case would have been thrown out because they really didn't have any, like, evidence on certain people, but they just grouped them together because they were with them. And he was like, if they was in New York, they wouldn't have had let that stuck. But in certain states, including Georgia, you don't have to have certain things to just indict these people without bond. So,
and here's the thing, like, this is, like you said, this is state jurisdiction.
Right.
Now, if this was like a federal RICO case, 9 times out of 10, the feds would win, right?
Yeah.
The feds have a 90-something% conviction rate.
Right.
So it's tough to beat the feds.
Right.
But because this is a state level, this right here is really just Atlanta, because this is Fulton County DA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the Fulton County Sheriff's Office and APD, they're the ones who arrested Thug and Gunna and brought them up on RICO charges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're the ones who were getting death threats.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Just consider that as an update to episode 34. So,
facts. Dude.
Man.
It's getting scary out here, bro.
It is. So, just like, watch what you're doing, man. Like, I understand certain circumstances. Some people are out here committing crimes because they have to.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's a question that some people get asked to really, like, put your mindset or put yourself in somebody else's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
If you were homeless, would you steal to feed your child? Or would you steal to feed, you know, someone you're close to on the street? Like, if you know, like, people don't really think about stuff like that. Like, us right now, we work.
Yeah.
You know, we get money. We pay for everything that we want so that we don't have to steal.
Right.
But if you're in a position to where you can't afford to pay for a meal, like, would you steal to survive?
I mean, that's tough. I mean, if I feel like I've exhausted everything that I know how to do, I mean, I guess at that point of mental thinking, you don't really know of any other option.
Right.
But it's a bunch of things in play. But,
Of course. Yeah. So, you know, that's something to where, again, like I was kind of like referencing, like, certain people, they do certain crimes because they feel they have no other choice.
Right.
Like a lot of the rappers that are out who were actually about that street life back in the day, they lived that street life because they felt like they didn't have any other options until they made a way out.
Right.
And, you know, some artists, like, you know, the case of Gunna and Thugger, you know what I'm saying? Like, they might have still been attached to the streets. Yeah. And even though, like, they're successful at what they do, like, they're the millionaire artists, yo. Like, they out here getting paid off of all the records that they make. You know, club appearances, features, all of that stuff. And if they was still really heavy out in the streets, you know, allegedly, because we don't know what's going on with the trial. The trial hasn't started yet. It will start for a few months. So, I don't know, man. It's just like I feel like once you're at a certain level in your life, yo, like, you shouldn't really be worried about just street life anymore, man.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, I don't really know the mindset of someone who grew up in the streets and then, you know, got into some money. I don't know how that transition is. Maybe it's something that's where, like, you never it's a part of you that's, like, always in that street life. I don't know. You tied to it. I don't know.
Right.
But
I feel you with that.
We don't know their mentality, apparently. So, and then think about it too. If you rapping about it, even though you might not be doing it, you rapping about it in some way, shape, or form. Your life is gonna look like some of the stuff you're rapping about, because I believe in the power of the tongue. So if I continue to talk about certain things, chances are some of that is around me somewhere. That's my take on it, because, you know, this is what I believe. But I don't know. I do pray for those brothers. I pray that if they did something, you gotta face the whatever it is that you did. But if you didn't do nothing, I do pray for justice for them. And I don't think that their lyrics should be used against them. I actually do agree with that. I think that's a form of art.
Right.
And like somebody said, if somebody played a character in a movie and they killed somebody or they portrayed this person, you're not going to use that against them. No,
that is true.
That's just a form of art, and that's how you express it. So I don't think they should, use that against them.
And that's a good point. Like, I've never heard about that before, but I can understand where whoever said that is coming from, because we definitely won't, like, try to arrest Denzel for the character he played in Training Day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or like Man on Fire.
Exactly.
Or any of the roles that he was in, just like The Equalizer. Boy, that man.
Come on now.
What?
We believe who he really is. Like,
right.
Be like, yo. But you're not going to say, you know what? You too good at that.
Exactly.
You might be doing that.
Right.
We're not doing that. You're not doing that, so.
So I get it. Yeah. I could understand that. But by the same token, it's like, okay, well, if you're doing that in your music, yeah, that is a form of art. But if you're also kind of portraying that on like social media and stuff,
This is true.
because remember we did cover in a few episodes ago, like how a lot of stuff was being used against people in social media,
Right.
and I don't know, man. I think that's like social media, even though like a lot of us want to portray a certain image on social media, like we'll only show the good side
Yeah.
of our lives. We won't always show the bad side, or we'll rarely show the bad side.
Yeah.
That's still our life.
This is true. This is true.
So, I mean, that stuff being used against them, I see no problem with that.
Yeah.
But the music, you got a point with that.
Yeah. And I think that's just one of those things where it's like, okay, if you really did some of that stuff you're talking about, then it is catching up to you in that way. It's showing it's life trying to teach you a lesson for what you did. But if you didn't do it, hopefully justice will be served.
More RICO cases on the way.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
Fonny's not playing, yo.
Look, she locking them up, bro.
She played everybody under the jail.
That's what I'm saying, bro. No, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, you won't catch me committing no crimes in Fulton County, boy.
Come on,
I am
man.
not trying to end up as a file on Fonny's desk, yo.
And I saw a picture of Gunna, man. He was looking like he lost a lot of weight. Bro was looking a little hungry. Man,
Hey.
it just wasn't looking good, man. So,
I mean, I heard food on the inside was terrible.
it's trash.
Especially like if you got $1 million taste, like you used to eating like lobster and steak on a regular basis and stuff like that.
Going to that.
And then you in the big house and you just eating.
You probably don't even want to eat, too,
Right.
sometimes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
probably
I
wanna
can
eat.
imagine that. Like, I knew some people who were locked up at some point, and they just, man, stories they told me about the food on the inside, like they had to improvise a lot
I believe it.
with certain meals, and there's certain things they just wouldn't touch. They wouldn't eat it.
I think that's why they depend so much on the commissary. Like, that's why they want you to put money on their books and stuff, because they're able to buy, like, different things and
Right.
stuff. And then, I don't know if you've seen, like, some of these dudes on YouTube that be creating, like, crazy meals from, like, it would be jail meals, but they
I've seen
create
it.
it. So
Yeah, I've seen some.
I think that's one of the reasons why, which they're very good at.
They are very good at it, and I've seen people like I don't really watch so much anymore because I don't really have time to really watch stuff. But I used to watch a lot of documentaries, especially like prison documentaries, Lock Up. I know my ex used to want to watch First 48 all the time. I never really got into First 48, even though it's not really a prison doc, but it's more so true crime. But still, stuff like that, especially like Lock Up. They would show like the power of, I think, what they would call canteen, like all the snacks that they would get and stuff like that, from commissary, and how people would trade certain snacks for like cigarettes and stuff like that, and they would combine certain like jailhouse items to make meals, and some of the stuff that they use to make those meals is disgusting.
Bro, it is. But I saw a dude make a McFlurry, bro. You ever seen that?
What?
I saw him make a McFlurry.
How?
I just know he got creative. He had a bag of ice. He had some condensed milk and peanut or some M&Ms. He made it.
That's crazy.
It was nuts, bro. So the stuff that you can do, the creativity that you get is amazing while you're behind them bars. I just wish they would do a better job at actually like rehabilitating these people instead of just sticking them and getting them away from the community. Okay, when they're behind these bars, like teach them some stuff. I know they have some things in place, but I just think we could do a better job, man. Because a lot of them, they get out and they do the same things, or they haven't really it hasn't been no help for them. I think jail is not really what it's supposed to be doing, bro.
Yo, in a perfect world, all the inmates should be rehabilitated, to be better citizens, to be, once they get placed back into society, that they can operate as better individuals than they were before, but we already covered this in an episode. I believe it was episode 11, to where we talked about why it is there's no real rehabilitation in these prisons.
Yeah.
It's big business, man.
Yeah.
And we live in a capitalist nation to where everything is about money.
Yeah, bro. But I heard something today. I don't know if you ever heard this. They said the United States it's not a country, it's a corporation.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Like, and that made me think, bro. Like, everything for sale, bro. bro, that means we are for sale.
Yeah. I learned about this years ago, and I never really took the time to actually investigate it. So, to anybody listening or watching, please correct me if I'm wrong. I heard that when you are born, on your birth certificate, where your parents have to sign your birth certificate, there's like the line that they sign on is actually writing. Like there's fine writing on that line, so it's like a contract that your parents sign.
Oh, I never heard that.
Yeah.
I heard about your Social Security actually being something different than what you think it is. It's like more so kind of like it's your ID, but it's one way that they can categorize you or like keep y'all, not keep us. It's just basically like in a system that it's like, okay, this is how many people we got, you know.
I've heard of that too.
So it's a little freaky out here, don't be. I'm just saying, like. They got a price on our heads, bro. Like,
oh yeah, everything's for sale and everybody's for sale.
That's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't for sale. All right, just letting y'all know now. All right, I ain't for sale. But nah, that's kind of.
Hey, so somebody walked up to you, was like, "Listen, we'll offer you however multi-million dollars, you know, whatever. Put you and your wife in a nice house in the burbs somewhere, or like, you know, wherever." Right, you live in your dream home.
Right,
can have your dream lifestyle.
Okay.
All you got to do is something that you might not necessarily want to do, but they want you to do it. But they're gonna give you this hefty check in this nice mansion or whatever type of life you and Wanda want. You not for sale?
Well, I mean, it has to be on. What are we talking about? Like, morally, or is it ethical?
But see, here's the thing, though. Initially, you said you were not for sale.
I mean, I'm not for sale.
It seems like the price has to be right.
Well, I mean, is it ethical? Is it because it can be honestly just a business transaction. That I'm a businessman. Don't get me wrong. Hold on, I'm still a businessman. So if we can talk out something that's like, okay, well, this makes sense. Like, and I'm not losing who I am as a person, or hurting anybody or anything like that. We could talk business.
Okay, what if it was something to where you didn't know that you weren't hurting anybody, but you were actually hurting somebody?
Well, then they're not being truthful on their end.
No, not at all.
So then I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know. That's why I would have to.
But then, what if you found out? Would you give the money and would you try to give the money and the lifestyle back, or would you just be like, well, there's nothing I can do about it now?
I would try to do something with the money that I may. If I already have the money, I would see if I can do something with that to make it right. If not, then I'll go back and try to fix what I did or what they did not tell me. Yes.
Okay.
I'll try to make it right because I like for everybody to be treated fairly.
Of course.
But that's it depends on that dollar amount. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't for sale. I just want to throw that out there again. You know what I'm saying? That's funny. Speaking of for sale, though, that's a great segue actually. You remember Condoleezza Rice?
Yeah.
She was Secretary of State. And as you all know, the Broncos, they pretty much went up for sale this year, whatnot.
Well, for the people who don't know who the Broncos are, who are the Broncos?
Oh, I'm sorry. Everybody's not a football fan. The Denver Broncos are a football team in the NFL that they're actually, I believe they won a championship not too long ago when they had Peyton Manning, who is retired now. And they just went up for sale, and it's basically like a ownership group. So it's not one person that is going to own the team, but it's going to be a group of people because y'all already know these teams are worth billions of dollars. And the former Secretary of State has become in part of this ownership group, and the Broncos issued a statement saying that we're pleased to welcome former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice to our ownership group, a highly respected public servant, accomplished academic and corporate leader. Secretary Rice is well known as a passionate and knowledgeable football fan who has worked to make the sport stronger and better. She is the daughter of a football coach and served on an inaugural college football playoff committee. She moved to Denver with her family when she was 12 years old and went on to attend the University of Denver for both college and graduate school. Her unique experience and extraordinary judgment will be a great benefit to our group and Broncos organization. And the reason I just wanted to talk about this was just because, first and foremost, there's not a lot of us when it comes to ownership.
And by us, if you're watching us on YouTube, you already know what he's talking about. And also by us, if you're listening to us, you should use context clues to know exactly what he's talking about, especially since I just enunciated twice make this a third time when I said us.
Pretty
you
much.
feel me?
You already know. It's just I love to see that. You know, I am grateful when we get behind doors that a lot of people did not want us to be behind, or we weren't allowed to. So it's just good to see a familiar face that we all can look up to, and you know, just inspire the youth. And I just wanted to read what she said. She just said, "It's an honor to be a part of this ownership group. Football has been an integral part of my life since the moment it was introduced to me. I am thrilled to be a part of the Broncos organization today. I spent much of my younger years in Denver, so to be able to combine my love of the game with my love for the great city and the team is an adventure of a lifetime and a great opportunity." I just want to give a big congratulations to Condoleezza Rice and everybody that's in that ownership group, because I do actually believe there's another one of us in there as well. I just cannot remember the name, but I just love to see it, man.
Hey, shout out to her. And is it weird that I anytime I hear anything regarding Condoleezza Rice, I think of the Chappelle Show skit?
Oh, bro, yeah, bro, that's personal. I literally want to say it how he said it, but I'm not gonna be ignorant like that. But that's really in my mind,
Bro, like
that's yes.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. If you've watched Chappelle's Show, you know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But every time we just said her name, I wanted to say it the exact way that he said it in that skit.
No, I agree with you. I definitely want. I was thinking that same thing, bro. Like, I was like, I'm not gonna do it.
But shout out to her, for real.
Yeah, shout out to. I'm about to say shout out to Chappelle, bro. Shout out to Chappelle. That was a classic, dog.
It was a classic.
That was a classic, bro. Oh man, good times.
Good old Clayton Bigsby.
Facts. Oh man, but speaking of work, you know, sometimes, you know, we work a lot, B. So therefore, I wanted to talk about the word patience today and everything that it means and why it's more important than what we may think. I'll start off first with the definition of patience. According to Google, it means the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. Now, patience is something that we don't really think about it being like a thing. Well, maybe some of us do, but it's kind of more real than, or it's kind of just as real as us putting on a physical pair of shoes, right?
Right.
It's patience is something that we should be carrying with us on a daily basis, but we can't touch it, we can't see it, we can't feel it, but it's there. Especially when your patience is tested. And I think that is something that it's very important that we should all exercise more. I don't think we look at it as a muscle, but I think that it is a muscle. I think that just like how some people are maybe, what's the word? Genetically, they're built different. Like, so you have some people that can gain muscle easier than other people.
So like genetically gifted?
Yeah, like they're it's just easier for them, or their structure is already like there, and so when they work out, you can see it on them a little more versus somebody who may have to work a little harder to get that same body, right?
Or somebody who wouldn't necessarily have to worry about eating so much and then gaining weight versus somebody who could eat a whole lot and just gain overnight.
No, seriously, yes.
Yeah.
Just like that. And I think the same way patience goes. I feel like
I don't like you skinny people that can do that. I'm sitting across the table from one right now.
Bro, like, hey,
this man can eat. He don't gain no weight.
I be eating, bro. I be trying to, bro. It just don't work, man. Look.
You eat more than me.
Hey, man, can we get back on topic? Because I'm hungry right now. I actually want to eat right now, too. I ain't even going to lie to you.
Yeah.
But yes, man. No, we're not going over. No. Look, listen.
I can eat a bag of potato chips and gain like 5 pounds. This man can eat 10 of them same bags and don't gain a single pound.
I might gain a little bit, but then probably like after hours, so it's gonna go away. Yeah. But I be
genetically gifted, man. Genetically gifted.
But yeah, man, I think the same thing goes with patience. I feel like some of us we all have been given patience, but at the same time, some of us may have a little more, and while others may have to work at it a little more than the other person. But I do think this is something that we need to talk about more, because in today's climate, bro, we need patience, bro. Because if not, we're gonna be going off on everybody.
Yeah, I dig that, man.
Like, think about it. there's not one situation that you can put patience in that's not useful. Like, patience can be useful in every day, in every situation, if you think about it.
She sure was.
She? Who is she?
You know, I used to date a girl named Patience back in the day. So it was weird. Like, every time you say the word patience, like,
Interesting.
you know, patience can be useful, or like patience that is like, you know what? You're right. She sure was.
Yo, first of all, that's dope. I've actually never heard of nobody named Patience.
Really?
I think that's a dope name.
I've come across 2 women named Patience. Dated one, and then I don't remember where I saw the other one.
Now, were they both patient?
One was, the one that I dated was.
That's good.
You got to be a patient woman to deal with me.
Nah, that's dope.
I like older me. You know what I'm saying? Like, back in the day me. You feel me? Because this was like 2016. I was still in my 20s. And I was a slightly different Brandon.
Yeah. I mean, it's understandable, though.
Yeah.
I feel like we all elevated and grown and had to learn from previous situations to become who we are today. Mm-hmm. So,
especially since at that time, you know, 2016, that was when I really got my heart broken from that situation with old girl you went to school with. So, yeah. Woo.
but see, I'm guaranteeing that situation took a lot of patience from you to even overcome that to become who you are today.
Of course.
So,
and patience helped me get through that.
see? Wait, okay. Hold on. Wait. Which one are we talking about now? Are we talking about patience as a person, or are we talking about the concept of patience? Because hold on, now I'm confused now.
That's for me to know, for y'all to maybe think about finding out, because you never will.
That's funny.
Nah, I mean, like, for real. Like, I threw that out there, you know, just because it really was bothering my mind. Like, every time you said patience, like, I would think of the women I dated. But of course, like, yeah, I mean, both, I would say. Both she and the concept of patience, you know, kind of helped me get over that.
Right.
So
what do you think has been the hardest thing for you as far as, like, when it comes to patience? Like, why?
The concept, right?
Yes, not the person, the concept of patience. What is probably one of the hardest things for you to, like, grasp a hold onto, and, like, as far as just learning it, and, you know, or what have you overcome as far as using patience?
I guess you can say that I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I'm a very patient person. My tolerance is not that thin for a lot of things. Like, I don't. It's not like I will blow up on somebody just because they did something. You know. I feel like at this point in my life, man, especially not being where I truly want to be in life, I would have to be a patient individual to even tolerate every single thing that I've been through up until this point.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. No, go ahead.
So I was about to say, so you telling me if I just step on your J's right now, like, you still patient? Like, you gonna be good? Like, because you just said you're a patient person, so what's up?
You know, it depends on the Jordans that I was wearing. These are brand new. So if you stepped on these, since they cost me a pretty penny, I would have to tax you if you scuffed them.
You said you're a patient person, though, man.
I am a patient person, but see how you knew exactly what to say, or, you know, listen. There's a saying that goes, "Never kick a man when he's down," but there's also a saying that goes, "Hit him where it hurts."
Oh, man.
You're the type of person that'll do both. You'll kick a man when he's down, and you will definitely hit somebody where it hurts. And you knew exactly what to say to make it hurt.
Oh, man.
All right?
Oh, man.
So, that's it on that. You see how white these are?
I know, bro. As I was looking, I was like, man, like, oh, man. But no, seriously, though. That makes me think, though. It's just like, we all have that thing, that button to push.
Yeah.
You know, that it's like, okay, am I going to use these patience, or am I just going to react?
I try my hardest not to react to certain things. I try not to let everything bother me. There's a lot of stuff that could bother me, and I just choose to ignore it because I tend to think about the bigger picture, at least now, you know. There's a reason why I continue to wake up every single day, why I'm given a second chance every single day. You know, like, the man upstairs definitely has a lot of patience with me.
Yeah.
So if he has a lot of patience with me, why wouldn't I be able to have patience for other people or for other things? You know, that's what I think about a lot when it comes to just patience overall. And I think that that's one of the reasons why I'm such a patient person. But when it comes to what you suggested, it's
nah, bro.
Nah. Now, if I had these for a little while, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't really tripping on how much I paid for them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're just sneakers, man. They just shoes. Like, it's okay. It is what it is. But, you know, let me at least get a month or two wear out of them first. You know what I'm saying?
But nah, I think you said something real key when you said, like, yo, like, if God can be patient with me, considering, like, we all know we flawed in the things that we've done, and, you know, to still be able to breathe and know that you waking up, bro, it's like, why can't I be patient with the next person? You know, I don't think everybody looks at it like that, but I think that's a great perspective to look at it, to keep going. Because, you know, life will test you, bro, every day.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes, too, like, I get a lot of people that say, yo, I'm working on my patience, right? And then life will be like, okay, let's see how you do. And they'll put you in something that's like, okay, how are you really doing? Are you really saying you trying to work on this? Because I gave you a situation and you just went off on old girl because, I don't know, you know, just thinking of random stuff. But
yeah,
I think that's how life is, man.
See, it's just a part of just, okay, let me tell you this. This is how patient I am, right? I've told you my plans for the next, you know, coming months to like a year or so, right? What I've been planning to do.
Right.
Now, I'm at the point to where I don't know how long I'm going to continue delivering versus when I'm going to go back to the warehouse.
Okay.
Because eventually I'm going to do one or the other. Now, delivering gets me more money.
Right.
But being at the warehouse, I have more time.
Yeah.
I have more time to work on this to where I can put out content effortlessly, consistently.
Right.
People who listen to us and watch us don't have to worry about waiting weeks to get a new episode from us.
Right.
And, you know, that's my passion. You know how I am about content creation and editing and stuff like that. Like, that's what I want to do. But again, with delivering, like I said, it gives me more money. So with the more money, we can definitely invest in everything you and I talked about investing in
Big facts.
in the next couple of months, you know,
Facts.
while we're working on year 2 of this podcast journey. And, you know, I'm just like, you know what? Maybe instead of going directly back to the warehouse within the next couple of weeks or so, or a few weeks, and not worrying about delivering full time anymore, maybe I can just hang in there, keep delivering full time, get this money, and just stack to the point to where whatever it is that you and I need to invest in when it comes to this, we can just take care of it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So,
I agree. That just makes me think of, you know, something I heard from an interview this week. Jay-Z said it. He was like, nothing is actually happening to you. It is actually happening for you. Message! And to me, man, I was like, whoa, I really thought about that, man. If you can adopt that mindset, bro, that can change the way you look at everything, right? So, let's just say in the beginning of the week, man, you was like, I don't know, I want to help people more, or I want to be more of a leader, right? I don't know, just something random. And then the week comes by, and then you get put in all these situations, these stressful situations, to where you are looked at as the person that has to solve these situations, but it doesn't feel good in the moment. It's like hectic, it's stressful, it's anxiety. It's like, whoa, why am I going through this? But if you have the understanding to realize, okay, nothing's happening to me, this is happening for me, I'm like, hold on, okay, well, I did ask for something in the beginning of this week. I'm kind of dealing with this stuff. Maybe this is happening for my good. So if you're patient enough to go through it, you'll realize, okay, now I'm a better person. I'm actually getting what I asked for early on in the week. So I feel like that's the way life is happening to us right now.
right.
Everything that we're going through is something that we have previously asked for in some type of way. We've asked for this thing, and now life is preparing us. But it's doing it in the way that it's the right way, not how we thought.
Yeah.
It's doing it in the right way. I don't know. I just thought that was a very interesting take on life.
It is.
Perspective.
It's definitely a very interesting take on life. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we just have to continue to have the patience for whatever it is that we want. Like, it's human nature to want stuff. Like, we always want. You know? Like, I really, really want this equipment that I've been talking about for months. And it's so close. Like, it's really close.
Yeah.
To the point to where, like, again, we've been talking about all the investments we're making within the next month. Like, we're putting dates on this stuff now. We never really put a date on it.
Right.
And, you know, however soon is going to happen for us, like to the audience who's listening or watching, they'll probably see all this stuff coming to fruition in a matter of like 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Whereas for us, it may take.
You seem like.
You know what I mean? Like that's the patience that we have to have, and that's life happening for us.
Yeah.
Because we have to do certain things in order to get to where it is that we want in life.
Right.
You know, like the saying goes, you got to do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do.
Big facts, though.
So.
And it's just like, to me, it's just one of those things where it shows everything is kind of already there for you. Like, you just got to use what you got. Instead of like you say, we always want more and more and more and more. I don't think that's ever going to go away. Even when you get exactly what you want, you're going to think of something else that's more than what it is you had.
When I get that Portofino, I'm going to want the next higher up Ferrari. When I get that Ferrari, I'm just like, yo, I'm seeing this new Ferrari that hit the streets.
Bro,
I want that one.
That's just our human nature.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it's first before you get that new Ferrari, it's like, okay, well, what kind of car do you got now? Let's appreciate this car now. Like this car now, right now, is doing exactly what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Until you get to that Portofino.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's
that
like,
sucker's almost paid off too.
Look at that.
It's almost paid off.
Look at that, man. So, dude, I don't know, bro. I think patience is something that we just all need to like work on every single day. Be careful if you do ask for more patience, because life will test you, and it may not look like what you thought it was. But when you get in a situation, sometimes if you can just take a little deep breath and realize, hold on now, I ain't gonna let these people get to me. Hold on, I asked for some more patience. Now this is my opportunity to receive it, bro.
Yeah.
So I just think that's how we need to look at life a little different, bro.
I dig that.
So another example of patience and how it is very beneficial. I was often learning this as well. When you're talking to somebody, I think we as humans, a lot of times we like to speak, but I've learned that in life, it's best to be the last person to speak, because when you are patient enough to hear everything that the person you're talking to, when you're able to listen to everything they have to say, and you're the last one to speak, then you can take everything that they gave from you and constructively give them a response back, or give them some knowledge back that you got, and you've already amassed a lot of information from them, and you can be, how do I say this? You could just be looked at differently. Because a lot of people like to hear themselves talk, and a lot of times people tell you their problems and their solutions within one sit down if you allow them to speak. So I think that's another way to use your patience in a different way. Because as you know, relationships are important. You know this. You talk to a lot of people.
Yep.
So you realize that your relationships can actually take you from wherever you are at to wherever you want to be at, just by knowing somebody. You know, we've met people randomly just and end up having interviews with them.
Of course.
So.
And we've met people randomly who we have yet to have interviews with.
Facts.
But we know that when we do have interviews with these people, it's going to unlock so many different doors. Mm-hmm. Like, these are keys to unlock different doors. And, man, I can't wait till we get to that point.
Big fact. You said something right there. You made me think, bro, patience is a key. Patience is literally like a key to a door that unlocks different stuff. But it only unlocks certain doors if you have patience.
Yeah.
Like, if we were to rush a lot of this stuff with people that we may know, like, yo, come on. Like, for instance, I don't want to use his name because he didn't know he's going to be a specific YouTuber that we know who has millions of followers, right? That we know. Yep. Like, if we were
That's exactly who I was referencing just a second ago, yeah.
Think about it, bro. If we were to rush him, like, yo, please, come on, bro. Can you get on here? Like, we need... Nah, bro. Like, if we be patient with him, knowing that it will come.
It will come.
At the right time.
Yep.
Dude.
I mean, he's already given us quite a bit of advice
yeah.
for what we can do for our channel, and we've implemented, a few of those things.
And he knows us now.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that
well, I mean, he knows you more so than me, but
at least he knows of the podcast.
He knows of the podcast, yeah.
So, I mean, it's just like now that's just like a seed that's been planted, and now we just got to patiently wait for that to grow. And hey, man, who knows what's gonna happen? We might not even be here. We might be in our own studio. By the time that, we get that opportunity to have that interview.
Man, I can't wait because, Yo, when the time comes to getting like a real studio, not saying that this ain't a real studio, this has definitely helped us.
Oh yeah,
right?
Step up.
It's a step up from where we started. Humble beginnings, might I add.
Facts.
Right?
Big facts.
It's a step up from where we started, but it's a step in the direction of where we're going.
Exactly.
And then when we get there, of course, with all the patience that we've had, like we're not rushing to get into like a studio to where it's like to we're going from iPhone cameras to like studio production, high quality 8K video cameras or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? And then lighting all around and shotgun mics over our head and like, you know what I'm saying? Like all of that stuff is going to come, but with the patience that we have, we're not letting it eat us up that we're not there yet.
Yeah.
And you're right. When we get our own equipment, like, I mean, we already have our own equipment, but when we get the next step up in equipment, and we start to actually get into a studio, and we can make sure that the quality of our production is much better, and we have not only people editing for us, but we have people behind the scenes switching the camera angles on the fly, so where we don't have to worry about editing, right? They'll take care of all of it.
That's hard.
You know what I'm saying? We'll get there.
Yes, sir. We will.
It's just really blowing my mind. Like I don't even know what to say on top of everything that I just said, because I'm at a point to where I'm kind of like speechless.
Yeah.
Just thinking about where this is gonna go.
Yeah.
We have the patience already to know that it's not gonna happen overnight. We have to wait to get to where we want to go. We have to work to get to where we want to go,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And of course, we know faith without works is dead. We already have the faith, but we got to put in that work to get
Big facts.
to that certain point. But we also have to have the patience to know that the work that we're putting in now is not going to pay off like literally tomorrow, right? It's going to pay off maybe a few months from now, maybe even a few years from now.
Yeah.
Like I was just listening to a podcast on my way up here. These two young ladies based out of Atlanta, they're about to hit their 300th episode. In 2 more episodes, they're going to hit episode 300. They have been doing this for, I think, like 5 years.
Dang. Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that.
300 episodes, bro.
That's a lot, bro.
They've been doing live shows. They've been touring recently and stuff like that. But, this isn't the first time that they've been touring and doing live shows. Like, just imagine, right? We're about to step into year 2 of this, right? That journey from hitting the year 1 mark, going up to year 2 mark. Like, what is it going to be like for us in our second year of operations versus the first year? Are we going to start doing live shows yet? Who knows, right? But I do know that we're definitely going to launch a Patreon. You feel me? So y'all better be ready for that. Whenever that comes, we're going to give you some extra content.
Come on now.
Patreon exclusives. Because YouTube just won't let us be great. They're letting us be great to an extent, but Patreon is really going to let us be great.
Big facts, though. Big facts. But no, I think that, I don't know if you have maybe a way to help, but I was also thinking of sometimes people have a hard time with patience. There are some people that, they feel like, I don't have a lot of it. So, what are some things that we can give them to maybe help them? And there was one thought that came to my head, gratitude. To me, when I think of patience, one of the things that help me when I'm trying to get to where I want to be at and I feel like I'm just impatient for it to come, I just start thinking, I thank God for everything I have now. So I just thank Him for the most random things, right? And I just say them all out loud. And it makes me realize how much I actually have. Because sometimes when we go through life, we don't take inventory of what we really have. And sometimes it can like be put in the background. Like, for instance, right? You ain't really thinking about your heart beating like that. You don't really take inventory of how many times your heart done beat there if it done skipped. But that thing stopped beating. My heart is important. We don't think about that.
True.
So it's just taking mental inventory of everything we have and just saying thank you for this thing. It'll make you look at how much you really have, and then it'll allow you to be more patient for the things to come that you really want, because you actually have more than what you think you have. So yeah,
put.
That was one way. I don't know if you have a way that you can help people who don't have a lot of patience. What would you say?
I would say listen to people who have patience.
Ooh,
that's something that I think has helped me develop the amount of patience that I have. Again, I'm at a point in my life to where I don't even really listen to music in my car anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only time you'll probably catch me listening to music is when I'm delivering. Like I can't just listen to what I normally listen to in my car while I'm doing my deliveries, because I have to catch every single nugget possible. And by that, you know, me saying that, I mean, like, when I'm in my car, I listen to podcasts more. Like I was just telling Mike before we even started recording, the amount of space on my phone is dwindling, right? And one thing that's taking up so much space on my phone, I'm talking like almost 30 gigabytes worth of storage, is the 30 gigabytes worth of storage is the podcast app. All the many different shows that I listen to on a regular basis. And if I started to shout out all the shows that I listen to, we could be here for a little while. But I listen to quite a few people that have a lot to say, and you know, they not only have a lot to say, but they really live by example.
Right.
You know, such as like 19 Keys. I listen to his podcast. And it's crazy because I didn't even know who 19 Keys was until I actually got to see him in person at another podcast recording that I went to. I think this was like sometime last year. When I went to go watch an episode of Social Proof Podcast with David Shands.
Okay.
So yeah, I got to see 19 Keys in person.
Yeah, man.
And that was the first time I ever heard of him.
Wise
and
brother.
A very wise brother. Yeah, man. So I listened to 19 Keys podcast. I listened to Social Proof Podcast. David Shands, Donnie Wiggins. Shout out to them. Listen to... you know what? I'm not even going to shout out all the other podcasts, but just know that a lot of you... Some of y'all know who I rock with. I've been on some of your lives on YouTube and stuff like that. And, you know, shout out to y'all. I know some of them are coming to Atlanta soon, so we're going to link up.
Yes, sir.
And if you want to improve your level of patience, listen to other people who exemplify patience.
No, that's good.
So
I think that's a key right there, like a real life key. And I think that's something that I hope that, you know, for those of you that lack patience, because I know there's some of y'all out there. Like I talk to so many different people, and we are all different in many different ways, but there are some people really that lack patience. So you're strong in other areas, but you just may lack patience. And dude, patience is, like B said, man, it's important, it's vital, it's a key, it's a muscle, it's a skill. We don't even think about it as a skill, but that's a skill, bro.
Oh yeah.
Like if you got patience, bro, you ever been in a checkout line that's been long, and you ain't really got patience, and it's just like your time in that line is just not pleasant.
But here's the thing, though. I have so much patience when it comes to that I don't mind being in a long line at the checkout. Why? Because I used to work retail. I've been on the other side. I've been on the cashier side to where I've seen a long line at my store, and my team had to be like, yo, we need this many people up here at the registers. We got to get this line down.
Yeah.
Now, anytime I go to that specific store, of course, it's under new management. It's not the same as when I used to work there.
Yeah.
But I know that they're still going to tackle that line if it gets long.
Yeah.
I can't really say the same for other stores because I've never worked at other stores. But I know one store that I go to somewhat often now. Their lines be long, bro. Burlington.
Oh, okay.
Especially Burlington and Sugarloaf Mills.
Yeah.
Their line is always long, and it blows my mind because they have two sets of registers. They have one register at the mall entrance, like one set of registers at the mall entrance, and one set of registers up at the main entrance that leads to the parking lot. So it's like y'all had two sets of registers, and there used to be two different lines in that store for both registers, but now y'all pretty much just shut down the registers at the mall entrance, and y'all only got one, so that line is really long, and it tends to snake.
Yeah.
But I still have patience when I'm in the line because I've been in those cashier shoes.
Yeah.
So.
And it just makes me think about, like, your patience a lot of times will determine your experience, because I've dealt with people that they had, like, really lack of patience. They become very entitled. They'll rush you. They don't even treat you like a human no more. And my interaction with them is I want to get them out of my face as quick as possible. I don't want to do nothing else for you but get you up out of my face. And then I've literally dealt with the opposite, though, of that person, and somebody who's extremely nice, understanding, and they're considerate, and I want to do more and above and beyond for you.
And people need to learn and understand that. Like when you told your story about that customer that really told you to shut up and give him his money back.
Yeah,
bro, I had the Arthur fist balled up by my side. I was like, yo, who is this cat? Let me swing on him, man.
Bro,
I don't work for the company, so if I swing on the man, like, what's going to happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, how dare you? You know what I'm saying? Like, have some compassion for people who are doing a service for you.
Yeah.
If somebody is telling you that they're going to give you your money back, like, just listen. Just don't interrupt them.
They ain't hearing
Let them work. Right. They're not hearing it. And that's the type of person that has thin patience. And we get it. Those people exist. But like you just said, man, somebody who's really like popping off at the mouth to your face and has no patience at all. They just want. You want to get them out of your face as quickly as possible. But for those considerate people who know or may understand what you may be going through, even though they have never been in that situation, but they have that level of patience and compassion, you want to do more for them just because of that principle.
What? You want to help them out so much, give them more, like, yo, it's just, it shows me the different dynamic of people. And, you know, just, you got to be patient. Ironically, it's possible. You got to be patient with those people who are impatient. That's crazy to say, but that's how it works.
If you have two impatient people, they're going to constantly butt heads. Just like you have, you know, two masculine people, especially like, you know, sometimes you get a whole bunch of men together that a fight could pop off.
Yeah.
Just because of like the example you said. What would happen if I stepped on your shoes?
Yep.
Some people could have the patience and be like, you know what, they're just sneakers, man. It's okay.
Yep.
As long as you say, excuse me, or oh, my bad, I'm sorry, whatever. It's all good. Some brothers, they'll want to swing on you, and then they want to go pop the trunk.
They got to go pop the trunk, B.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, over a pair of shoes. I get it.
But 9 times out of 10, if it was like a man and a woman in that same scenario, the woman accidentally stepped on his sneakers. Now, if it wasn't like, oh, I'm a jack you up with like I'm like intentionally stepping on your kids.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, the brothers is gonna be like, you know what? It's okay, miss. It's all right.
Right.
Like, you know, you're a woman. I'm not gonna swing with you. I'm not gonna do nothing. Like there's a balance with that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if she's very apologetic, like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, you know, maybe you might be like, yo, let me buy you a drink.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Let her be fine too. Yeah.
Oh, most definitely. Is she bad? It's all right, sweetheart. Let me buy you a drink.
Yeah,
like,
you know what I'm saying?
Make it up to me with some conversation.
You might flex a little bit. These they be brand new. These ain't nothing. Don't worry about that. I'll go cop another pair. Don't worry about that. You know, you trying to flex after that.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Oh,
but let it be two women in the same situation.
Oh, what?
What Brooke Valentine say? It's about to be a what? Girl fight?
Bruh. Getting called all kind of bees and this, yeah. Man. But yes, man, you know, we say all this just to say that patience is really important. It is a non-physical asset or skill that can be used in the physical world that can go far beyond any amount of money, any amount of talent or anything like that. But it's something that we need to use more of and understand that it's important. And we need to teach the brother and sister that's next to us because they may be lacking in it. You might be strong in it, so help them out. Give them some patience.
Most definitely.
Give patience to somebody that needs it this week. I will honestly say that. That's a big thing. Give patience to people.
And shout out to anyone out there named Patience.
Nah, for real. Shout out to
you.
All the patience. I hope you actually patient. That would be very ironic if your name is patient, but you're not patient.
It's kind of like if your name is Portia and you ain't fine.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I get it. You know, shout out to all the Chick-fil-A workers too, because y'all are really patient too. Like,
my goodness.
Just want to give a shout out to them.
No matter what a customer says, my pleasure.
My pleasure.
Always, never fails.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all for that. But y'all know what time it is. It's that time. What time is it, B?
It is 8:13 p.m.
Okay, outside of the obvious of the current time, but what time of the show is it?
The time is now the time to get into the answers of the week from the last episode.
Yes, sir.
Now, the question of the week for the previous episode was, what is the best thing that you've got going on in your life at the moment? And for the answers, man, we had a good amount of answers for this one. So shout out to each and every single one of you guys who took the time out to answer the question of the week. And we're going to go ahead and start with the first comment that we have here from Nizzy Naya. She said, my relationship with God and my support system. I know that I have valuable people in my corner that I can count on. So those are all beautiful things to be grateful for and, to acknowledge as the best things going on in her life at the moment. So shout out to her and kudos to her for all of those amazing things. So who we got next, Mike?
So the next one we got is from Isdria Nicole _. Alright, so from Isdria Nicole _, she said, my relationship with God and my creativity drive to pursue my passions. And then we reply saying, those are all awesome. Thank you for sharing.
That's what's up. Next in line comes from the real Shawnee Knox. He said, my relationship with God, going back to school in the fall, working on the next music project, marketing my current one that's out now, blessings all across the board.
Hey, shout out to real Shawnee Knox.
Shout out to Sean.
So from Will to Create Entertainment, he said, the relationship I've built with God, my goals, my legacy, healing, not just for me, but for my son, elevation. 100.
Shout out to Will.
Yeah, for real, man. Shout out to Will.
Next in line comes from the Roll Up.
Hey.
He said, like Will said, healing, not just for me, but for my little ones. Mm-hmm. Been doing a lot of silent healing and shadow work, trying to put my ego to rest.
Dig that.
And then we replied, most definitely, man. You've been dealing with a lot lately, so it's necessary. He said, same pressure that bursts pipes creates diamonds. And we both know that, another good thing that the Roll-Up has going on for himself is what his name is. So shout out to the Roll-Up.
Oh, big shout out to him too, though. He just came out with a book as well.
He did.
I don't have the book name right in front of me right now, but if y'all want to go to his Instagram, it's the Roll-Up, literally.
The Roll-Up.
Literally.
And roll as in ROLE, not ROLL.
Correct. Thank you for
that. So
the
Roll-Up. Yep.
Yeah, man. Definitely an inspiration, bro. Like, I want to write a book one day, so when I seen that he came out with one, I want to support him, and I hope that y'all support him too.
So click the link in his bio. Everything that he has there going on from his merch to his book. Go ahead and cop that.
So I just want to give a major shout out to each and every one of you that took the time out of your day to answer that question. We really appreciate that. Actually, B, did we give our own answers now that I think about it?
No, we didn't, actually.
Well, we got to give y'all what we think. Do you got something? What's the best thing that's going on in your life?
To be honest, I'm not 100% sure if I answered this in a previous episode. Like when I initially asked the question, I think I might have answered it then. But I really think I did. But if I didn't, I will say, yeah, the best thing that I got going on for my life right now is this podcast, man.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I think you actually said that too.
Yeah.
Now that I think about that, you did. Hey, man, shout out to you, man. That shows that it's real.
It is real, man. Like this right here, it's a well-oiled machine, man. And I'm excited to embark on year 2. Mm-hmm. After we hit that 1 year mark, it's only up from there.
I feel that, brother. I love that. I think right now the best thing I have going on in my life is kind of interesting. It's the way that I think. I know when I was younger, I did not always think like this. And
I know that. Whew.
It's like
that man's been delivered,
dude. That's like I feel like if had I not had the change that I had to be able to think this way, bro, I probably wouldn't be here. So to see everything that I've overcome and what I have in my life right now, I know by the grace of God that it's because of the way that I think now. So it has changed my life. So my thinking is really, really a big part of where I'm at.
It's crazy that you mentioned that, yo. You could have been on a dentistry podcast, if anything.
This is big facts. This is big facts. So I could have been on a whole nother wave, bro. Like,
yeah, and I would have had to have another partner.
Nah, big facts though. Like, but who knows? Like, you could have been, I don't know. You could have been doing something completely else. Like, I don't even know. Who would have known? Like, it's just everything has its timing, bro.
Yeah, it does. Because when we used to link up at GGC and Georgia State, all those years ago, we had no idea that this was coming.
None whatsoever, bro. We wouldn't even think about that, bro. We
No.
was mostly just thinking about what were we thinking about? Oh,
Well, I know I was thinking about girls. You know what I mean? And,
I think I would too. I was single at that time. I was single at that time. But I think we was also like trying to like get ahead in like affiliate marketing too.
yeah, just money.
Yeah, just
money was the main drive, but networking
yes, networking. That was big.
was another thing that was on our mind. But I'm not gonna cap. Every time I met you at GGC, I always wanted to meet me a new PYT.
Of course. I mean, they were definitely out there at that time. Good times. I remember Dre was out there too, so
Yeah.
Good times, man. That's all we gotta say.
Y'all don't gotta know about the good times, but just good times.
I also remember Georgia State. I used to meet you out there, and I was single, by the way. This was single me, all right? I just want y'all to know, throwing it out there. But yeah, it was fun, man. It was definitely fun.
Great times.
Yeah, good times, man. But y'all already know, man. We can't leave y'all with just that. We got to give y'all something new to think about, to ponder on, something that y'all can take the time out to answer for us. So we have a new question of the week, B. And what is it?
So the question of the week for this episode is there ever a time when giving up makes sense? I have an answer for that already. And I'm sure somebody else who, is watching this or who's going to see the question on social media, they're probably going to answer something similar. But I will honestly say, since we talked about R. Kelly, since we talked about the whole RICO case with YSL, I would say giving up makes sense when it comes to the phrase quit while you're ahead. Right? I think that's one of the only times, if not the only time, where giving up makes sense. And yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. This one, it's so many scenarios you could say. Yes,
there are. I mean, all you got to do is give one.
I don't know. I'm away from mine.
Okay.
I'm going to hear what some of these other people have to say, and then that's not going to determine my answer. But I'm just curious because now that I'm hearing what you said, because okay, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, I don't know yet. That's an interesting question.
It is.
It's a very interesting one.
Hey, we ask questions that make people think, man. That's the whole point of asking the question.
Big facts. Big facts. Well, look, man, if y'all want to answer this question, y'all can always comment it on our Instagram post or our Instagram story, which is at Residual Impact Podcast. Mm-hmm. Or you can tweet us, because we about to tweet. We about to start tweeting now. Get them tweets. That's your ain't.
Yeah, that's actually, that's too much.
I'm not a tweeter, y'all. Sorry. But anyways.
But we gotta be.
We got to be. Okay, we're going to get better. I'm going to get better. It's really me. I'm the problem on that one. But yes.
Well, first step is acknowledging.
Yeah, man.
Right?
I acknowledge I suck at, honestly, social media, but I definitely suck at tweeting. But you can write us on Twitter at Residual Impact, or TikTok if you want to at Residual Impact, or you can email us if you're old school at residualimpactpodcast@gmail.com, or right here on YouTube. We like that.
Yes, of course. Just drop a comment down below under the video answering the question of the week.
Yeah.
And, you'll be featured in the next episode when we read the answers out.
Yes, sir. I think that's all of the ways that you can write us.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it. That's everything.
That's it. You can call us. I'm just kidding. You can't call us.
I'm about to. Well, technically. Instagram. Yeah, they could call on Instagram. Don't mean I'm gonna answer.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna answer.
You can try. One day there'll actually come a time when people will be trying that though. So
I'm sure we're gonna have to turn that feature off.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but yeah, for the time being, just write us. We'll see it. I promise you, we will see it.
Yes.
Well, lovely people, we thank you for coming into our home. This is not, of course, our physical home, but this is like a home for us. And we always are grateful for y'all listening, streaming, whatever it is, however it is you are hearing this right now or seeing this.
Yes.
We really do appreciate y'all, man, and it does not go unnoticed for what y'all do.
Yes, for real. And please make sure that, again, if you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Yep.
Hit that notification bell so
Please.
you never miss when we upload a video.
Please.
Also, be sure to like and comment on this video. And don't forget to share.
Yeah.
Because anything that we've said today, it might not have only resonated with you, but I'm sure somebody else can get something from it as well.
Please,
so
man.
share it to Twitter, share it to Facebook, wherever. Just make sure you share it.
Thank you. Well, B, you already know what time it is, man. We can't leave it without telling them.
That, the mixtape that you about to drop is non-existent,
Whoa.
but I got a project coming out, and it is, called. Mine is actually going to be the better of the two because I'm fresh, I'm hot. I got bars for days.
All right.
The ideas
let's go ahead and wrap
are
this
just
up, ladies and gentlemen.
Where you are today is a residual outcome of the thoughts that you have had in the
bars
past.
for days. Everything is flowing.
Thank y'all.
I'm gonna
for
spit
showing
something
up.
real quick.
We're gonna go and wrap this up. I
Listen,
thank y'all. All
listen.
right, peace
Hey,
out.
listen.
All right, thank you.
The way that I walk up into place.
Good night. Good night.
It's giving me space.
I'm gonna cut the cameras off now. All right.
Let's cut it out.
All right. Peace. All right.
Time and energy.
Okay.